Well, Jeffrey gave you heads up as to who we're having next, said a gentleman, but there's so much more to him. Many parts, but let's dive right into it because time is of the essence. Ladies and gentlemen, VJ Adams, as you see, joins us right here in our studios. A TV host, producer, creative solutionist, and the list goes on and on. VJ Adams, welcome to the Morning Brief.
Thanks for having me.
With
so
your
good to be here.
You know.
Alpha.
But tell us, we need to start from, we will talk about you because there's a whole lot to talk about you. But VJ Adams, what's going on with Nigeria's music industry? Wizkid, Davido, how are you interpreting this and what camp?
And Don Jazzy in the mix, by the way.
Don Jazzy is in the mix, by the way.
I'm not interpreting it at all.
Okay.
I don't concern myself with everything else apart from when they release the music. So I care about the product, which is the music. So I consume what I like and I leave what I don't.
So are you trying to stay away from this? So I don't know, Wizkid FC or...
No, I generally...
OBO gang?
No,
30 BG.
30 BG.
So they don't come for you?
No, because generally I kind of mind my business. I would comment on what I have absolute information about. So why did anyone put out a tweet? I can't say for a fact, except I interview the person and they give me their perspective. So before I can comment on any of these things, I'll get perspectives and then I can take a stand.
Well, now you take a seat.
I'll take a seat.
But what does this do to the industry? I mean, is this good for it? Like, okay, people get to stream their music, particularly because new music is coming out, we hear, or it just makes the industry watered down? We have our political issues that we're facing, Phil Kessie and the rest.
True.
But what do you think this does to the industry?
I think for what it's worth, they say artists, pop culture artists, like to buy relevance of some sort, and depending on how they deem fit. So putting out tweets like that might be intentional. For all you care, there might be a product in the pipeline. So just building the basis of talkability. You know, so it all depends. I don't know for a fact what is going on. And I caught up to it just last night because I've been on set all day. You know, so I'm literally just saying, what's going on here? What happened here? So I'm literally looking through, what did this person say? Why is it okay? You know, so I'm yet to even get all the perspectives on it.
So there's a possibility that this is a marketing strategy and, you know, both men could just be fine behind the scenes.
It could be. And, you know, whenever these things happen, I usually would tell people to not... I mean, if you take a side, it's okay. But how would you feel in a few weeks you see the two men hanging out, you know, after you've taken a side? So you need to be very careful.
I think it's not in isolation. It happens even in politics, where
Absolutely.
people feast on gullibilities and all of that. It's a creative space, according to all of this. But maybe digging further, how much has that done in terms of the outlook of the industry? Is this a gimmick that works well for the outlook of the industry, or this is just an old practice that is no longer relevant in modern times?
I think this happens all across the world in terms of artists going for each other's throats, and for the most part, the two artists in question, they've had this for the longest. And people, from a statistic and analytical standpoint, have said it's propagated their careers to a certain level. You know, so it could still be that path for what it's worth.
So is it why they are not, because everybody has been waiting like, sorry, we're here to talk to you.
Yeah, but you can't avoid this.
Since you're in this space and all of this, everybody has been trying to say, when will Wizkid and Davido drop a record together? Will that ever happen in your view?
Never say never. It's how I like to look at it. Would it be a great thing for that to happen? Absolutely. I love collaborations. And even from my perspective, putting out music, I love to collaborate because I think you can buy into other people's energies, and you can even think about a banner that says Wizkid and Davido live. You can imagine how exceptional that would be. So that's my perspective to it. I would love for it to happen. Whether or not it does, fingers crossed.
Well, at the risk of seeming like I'm overflogging the issue, is the rivalry sort of, you know, from the PR perspective, good content for the industry? You know, lately, one of the actresses had cause, you know, to call for a unification of the industry recently on her Instagram page, and it caused quite a stir, saying that at a point Funke Akindele was the the big deal in the industry, and then she became the big deal, and then she called for everyone to unite. So it's a good content both for social media and the blogs, and the likes.
Yes, I think it's the people like what they like. It's and I generally just believe it's what it is. Whether or not I won't go that route, it's a different conversation, which is very personal to me. I would rather not do that. But from a general perspective, the people like what they like. The people have chosen camps, they've chosen their faves and wherever their stands, and so they enjoy these things to give them certain reasons to, for the most part, support their faves. Is it good for the industry? From a talkability standpoint, I think it's okay, depending on how you would love to be perceived and what you would want to be remembered by.
As long as nobody's hurt in the mix.
Exactly. As long as no one is losing their lives and no one is physically hurt or mentally. Well, you can't control the mental hurt.
In case you don't get it, this is going out to the fans that are at loggerheads. Do not take it too seriously. Don't say, meet me at this place.
Exactly.
Let us fight. It's music, it's entertainment. Don't take it too seriously. But let's talk about you, VJ Adams.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you've had your own quite fair share of controversies as well.
Have I?
Haven't you?
I don't think so. Tell me about it.
You don't think so, right?
If you have any.
Or is it marketing as well?
Which one?
You joined SWAT. You joined SWAT recently.
Shout out to Tauma the comedian.
Right.
See, that's a set. It's a set I played lead on. It's yet to be released, but that's like a teaser.
Right.
So it's just building momentum towards.
So you're not trying to fight anybody over it.
No. I don't engage in fights because when anything I do, I see it through. So if I would fight, I would see it through.
Fantastic. So basically, for you, you've tried to stay away from controversies.
Well, yes, because it's not. In the start of my career, what I tried to do was allow people see competence and not controversy. So I want you to, when you remember me, I want you to remember my competence of what I bring to the table in terms of what I do. And that's how I've been able to thrive for 16 years.
So obviously your background, not just your background, what you do, you're a host, television, radio. And
that's right.
There's a lot of work that goes into it. There's a lot of research,
Absolutely.
Introspecting, you guide what you say because there are ethics of the profession
that's
that
right.
helps you to shape.
You've seen the way I've been answering your questions, have you? Yes.
Don't let people know. So, I mean, it guides your lifestyle essentially because you're not just a random star. You're a star that is paired to a profession that has ethics.
That's right.
But you said you've not slept for some time now. So tell us, what are you up to?
Oh, okay. In terms of what I'm up to, I'm preparing for different rollouts. So when I say rollouts, when you create a product, the PR perspective to it in terms of release, how it goes out, and all of that. So I'm preparing for my Celebrity Video Game Challenge, the 7th edition when I'm headlining. I usually do a footfall of 4,000 people at this gaming event. So I'm preparing for that rollout. My fashion is coming again. The last time I did was 2021. And what I do with the fashion is when I sell it out, I stop, then I create something new. So I've created something new that is coming in a couple of weeks as well. It's in production right now, so I've seen the samples, so I'm preparing for that rollout as well. So I'm scripting, I'm designing, I'm advertising materials and all of that stuff. That's why I've barely slept.
So let's talk about that controversy you're running away from. So let's be clear.
Let's be clear.
Let's be clear. So
I thought that was letting
Stay away.
Straight question.
We do this.
I'm a straight shooter.
Yes, straight.
Yes.
I love it.
So, do you have a relationship with Bimbo?
I know of her works as she's an incredible actress. I know she's a family-oriented person. I know she respects her work a lot. She's constantly working. I also know that she's a good person. And I have all of this information. It could only mean one thing. So, what will be your next question?
We all know
were you
this now.
were you in a SWAT uniform? VJ Adams, were you in a SWAT uniform?
Yes.
Because you wanted to defend the honor of your girl. Yes, VJ, you have to answer the question, VJ Adams.
I tried my best.
Yes, and you were after Timmy Egusin for obvious reasons.
We know Timmy can be cheeky.
Yes, yes.
So you needed to set him straight.
And Timmy had to apologize immediately for obvious reasons. So please explain the obvious reasons to us.
What was going on.
Don't worry, nobody's watching.
Okay, no, so to be honest, so when I say preparing for rollout, that's a rollout. So there's a movie coming called Unexpected Places, where I'm EPing. So I mean, behind the scenes, you probably won't see my name, but you see the name of my company, Content King. So this is part of the rollout phase, and it's doing what it's supposed to do, and that's what it is.
So Bimbo is safe with you.
Anyone is safe with me. I'm a good person. I like to.
Actually, I'm administration. I'm asking you that.
I'm asking the head lecturer that. So if she's safe with me, everybody's safe with me. Are you not safe with me?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Are you not safe with me?
We don't know about that.
You know about that?
We don't know.
Wow.
So tell us, I may come back to this Bimbo matter, but let me just, so that we don't talk too much about it, because I'm looking at the time. It's impressive how you've evolved. We saw you from being an anchor, TV host, and I'm sure you're doing a couple of that around, but you've incorporated a lot of these things. We've seen people find it's quite difficult for them to evolve from a thing to the next. So maybe a bit of a toolkit on how, when you're in this space, you can begin to adapt a few other things that you can evolve into for those who admire your evolution.
Follow the money. When you follow the money, it would mean that those who make the real money either own the intellectual property or own the platform. So in the long run, you need to figure out owning something if you want to stay playing in this space. And that's what I had to do. That was what's important for me. So following the money would mean merchandising, creating fashion, where I could make money in my sleep of some sort, create music. I could make some coins from streaming as well, create my own shows like Know Your Music, which is I was able to get a partnership with Paramount Africa on the MTV-based platform. So yes, follow the money, create intellectual property, or own the platform. That's really what it is in the long run. If you follow the entire cycle of broadcasting, TV or radio, the money comes from there. Those who make the big bucks, they will either have to own the platform or own the content.
So that's quite a lot, and it speaks to your enterprising gift or nature, as the case may be, from television hosting, radio hosting, by the way. That's also part of your CV.
That's right.
There's also, you talked about your fashion line, building a fashion line, and there's also writing music. You know, we came off the one that we just watched earlier. What insights would you be sharing to young people who started out as television host or radio hosting? And speaking from a broadcast perspective, sometimes it's rather difficult to branch out into freelancing and let the jobs come. So what insights would you be sharing to help that freedom of expression?
For me, when I was starting on my career, I tailored my career with people like Jamie Foxx, Kanye West, in terms of being able to excel at multiple things. I thought that was exciting. If you were gifted to be able to do multiple things, why not? Who said a broadcaster can't make music? Who said a broadcaster can't fill up arenas? I mean, they told me no one did before I did in 2019 to fill up a 4,000 capacity venue. So that was exciting for me. I love the challenge. I love the challenge of it's never been done. Why not? Why can't it be done? So beyond trying to create multiple streams of income and also just trying to find financial stability, because for the most part, if you work in broadcasting, TV or radio, there's so much you can really make from your paycheck in terms of salaries. And I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who did this over 15 years. You would need to open multiple streams of income. And for me, I was more excited about opening multiple streams of income within entertainment regardless. The people say, oh, go and do real estate, which is also pretty okay. But I thought, why not? There's still so much more you could do within this space. And that excited me to pursue multiple dreams, regardless of staying firm as a broadcaster. Because for me, I thought the swag was being a presenter, doing TV, radio, while putting out music, not leaving one for one.
Right.
Yeah.
So essentially doing everything at the same time, multitasking.
That's right.
Are you still, by the way, modeling around... No, let me end. Are you still modeling or tailoring your career after Kanye West? Or as the case may be?
From his entrepreneurial competence, yes.
Till now?
Entrepreneurial competence, yes. He's still one of the most exceptional people from an entrepreneur standpoint.
Right.
He's clear on the path he goes with his EA sneakers and his shoe line and those other things. But he's what he does with his personal life, I don't concern myself with a lot of things. Because for me, that's what I tell people. Like, when I see anyone,
You're product focused.
Yes, I'm product focused. I care
And I
about...
think it's something to pick out from your experience. So you just basically pick what
Absolutely.
you think you can learn and all. So speak to us about that challenge around being a showbiz person, an entertainer. There's lots of pressures.
That's
There's
right.
lots of opportunities for, is it compromise, lose yourself, try this, try that, and some will say that's responsible for what we're seeing play out in some other people, and I'm not going to mention names because I think there's a lot of examples, and there's a name probably coming to your mind right now. So how do you handle the pressure?
So for me, I try to treat everything with a certain level of urgency, because we're not here for long in terms of, well, don't let me go too deep. I try to treat everything
No,
with...
go ahead. It's a morning break.
Yeah, because we're not here for long. How long are we really going to be here for in terms of being alive?
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's important to pursue everything your heart yearns for, because when you're lowered to your grave, you're going to be there alone, and everyone are going to have to move on and live their lives regardless. So nothing should hold you back, provided you're working hard but also working smart. So in the early stages of my career, what I did was I tried out multiple things. I figured out what worked, and I'm able to analyze what didn't work, why it didn't work. There's certain things that I created that it was ahead of its time, so I needed to hold back on it to revisit it. You know, I created Know Your Music, for example, in 2011. So it's a TV game show. And that was the time there was no TikTok, there was no Instagram yet, there was not a lot of things. But it was ripe to come alive when it eventually did. You know, so pursuing multiple dreams, being able to fulfill your potential as a human being matters to me a lot. And just being able to do that and just not getting comfortable with little success is also one of the things you need to pay attention to. Because, you know, you can get comfortable if you're thriving at something and not understand that there are bigger things to look forward to, you know. But for me, it's a bit different.
I'm interested in the philosophy behind a lot of things. I was watching, I think, Jamie receiving the BET Awards at some point, Best Actor some years ago. And when he was giving his speech or whatever, he did say that an elderly man told him, Jamie, let this be about something. More like, you're now a big star. Get off that high horse of being a big star. What is your voice really all about? So when you're putting out music, which is one of the things you do, what guides your mind? What's the philosophy that guides you? Is it also vibe, or there's a strong message you're trying to put out? Because everybody has their interest and no one can criticize them for what they love to do.
Absolutely. For me, putting out music, a message most definitely. Baby It's Okay, by the title itself, says Lift Me High. And even though it's Yoruba, but after writing that, I realized that from a producer standpoint, my voice wouldn't do justice to it. Because I wrote it from a Fuji perspective. And I was lucky to have had the relationship with Alhaji Pasuma, and I reached out to him. He heard it, he said he really liked it, and he voiced it, and we were able to make that magic. And shout out to Reminiscent TVs as well. So for me, message is important, and like you said, whether or not you choose to just vibe, that if that works for you as well, that's also good. But for me, I'm big on the message. I'm big on something relatable, something you can hold on to, because I want to be in my 60s and 70s and still be proud of the work I've made, and not give excuses that I was just young and naive, you know, while I was making all of these things.
So from promoting music to writing music and curating music, that's a robust, you know, standpoint. Speaking of which, you've been curating music since 2013. What are the transitions that you have noticed, particularly about the Nigerian brand of music or brands of music that fill up, you know, clubs and dance halls?
So for music that goes to the club and dance halls, it's very direct. It's pop culture music that would do that. Even though for the most part now it's been pegged as Afro beats, as you would know, which has gotten a lot of international success as well with the likes of Burna, Wiz, David, and the likes doing exceptionally well. For the most part, that's the trajectory of where the music is. But what I also like to tell people is, while that is thriving, there are also artists like Rika Sani, who's making amazing music. There's Johnny Drill, who's making amazing music. Johnny Drill fills up Moyo Kola Park whenever he's trying to stage an event. You know, and just for newer artists who are trying to come up in the game is what I tell them. It's okay to emulate the success of Burna Boy filling up 20,000 capacity venues, but you can also do smaller venues with maybe 3,000, 4,000 people and still make whatever you want to make and thrive at it.
So authenticity is, being
Oh,
you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Know thyself is the first thing I tell people. Know thyself. Because when you know thyself, you can stay firm in that path. Because there is King Sunny Ade who's still performing in his 80s, I believe. There's Shina Peters who's still performing. Do you still want to be able to perform in a couple of years? Or do you want this to end in a few years? So it depends on what works for you, really.
Okay. Jeffrey, did you want to go back to...
No, we're totally out of time, I understand.
So
the bimbo thing.
Oh, is that what you were thinking about? I know you get
Should we just ask is,
I know you get
are they getting married soon? Is that the question? Is that the one? How soon are you getting married to Bimbo?
How soon am I getting married?
To Bimbo.
So we'll pick the questions one at a time.
Okay.
How soon am I getting married? Wow. First question. I'm not sure. I'll speak to family, and then we'll make a decision.
Are you marrying collectively or individually?
No, but can I marry alone without the family?
No, I'm there.
Would the family not be there?
Are you going to marry collectively?
The family not going to be there.
Well, at least you have.
So should I tell the family not to come to my wedding?
So after the wedding,
so
they will also come
in this economy, not every family member can go to the wedding.
But you have not,
that's an angle.
DJ May, you have not answered the second question.
Okay, the second part, go on time.
So the second part, what's the question again?
When are you getting married?
We're running out of time. You people know that we're running out of time.
No, we have 10 seconds.
We have 10 seconds.
When are you getting married to Bimbo?
If you think about it, that'll be a two-part question. You need both parties to have an agreement, don't you think?
It's okay to dream. So tell us your dream.
Dreams. I dream that one day...
Let's go.
Yeah, we get the cue.
You survived us, right?
It's been an amazing time. We were warned beforehand that Vijay Adams has his ways, but we must say, fantastic work you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Meanwhile, do you have a message for Timini?
Watch your back.
Okay, so that's the answer we're looking for, Kylie. We'll take that one.
We'll take that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we've had the pleasure of Vijay Adams live on the show this morning. Multifaceted, really, from musician to fashion, actor, singer, the list goes on. And now SWAT team. Vijay Adams, thank you so much.
Thank you for Timini.
Well, that's much we can do today.
Some, tuxedo and white sensation on certain Instagram handles in the coming months, But you heard it first indirectly from the Morning Brief on Channels Television. We'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. I am Bukola Koka.
And I'm Jeffrey Zongo. Bye-bye.
We hope we've been able to give you some relief. I mean, we know things are tough, so, hey, we'll get over this. I'm Kayode Kikulu. Goodbye.